Welcome back to another episode of Cottage Tranquillity, and I'm going to show you in this episode a few different things that have been going on, and also a minor disaster that we had with the roof, which is what then caused me to get a bit behind on not filming, but on putting together and editing episodes. So I hope you forgive me and that you find it of interest as to all of the things that have been going on. And I apologise also because I seem to talk an awful lot about the weather in this particular episode. I have no idea why, but I seem to talk an awful lot about it. But yeah, enjoy the episode and I'll catch you at the end. It is changeover day. It is possibly the hottest day of the year, although yesterday was very hot too. So far I have washed and cleaned down from breakfast, so I've got to put the table mats back on. And I have stripped the bed and bedding, and I have washed the bathroom and the guest room. So that's all that ready to go in. I've got some washing up to do to clean the coffee maker parts and the cups from upstairs from that room. Now I'll take you for a quick look at the room. But let me just go and lay up that table. I've also vacuumed through here as well. But with two hairy monsters, it's quite difficult to keep the floors permanently clean. But quite frankly, it is so hot at the moment that I'm just happy that the boys are inside out of the heat. There we are, one table ready for next breakfast. And I think I've got guests checking in tomorrow, so that'll be wonderful. Hopefully it'll be a bit cooler by then. Right, let's go. Wash up first, shall we? Use energy wisely. And this is why I say use energy wisely. As you can see, sweat is dripping off of me. It is minging. So yes, it is have a shower every 5 minutes at the moment. But in fact, what is the time? So to be clear, it is currently just 10 o'clock. And I hate to think what the temperature is. Last time I checked, it was heading towards 30. That was at 9 o'clock. So, yeah. Due to be about 40 odd degrees today here in the Charente. So I think these weeks in August, I think it was hot this time last year as well. So where are we? It is the back end, so the latter half, the last 2 weeks of August. And in fact, probably from the second week of August, it gets really hot here. So if you're looking for somewhere hot to travel to and you think you need a tropical destination, just come to southwest France. It is gloriously hot. Not great if you're working, but if you want to enjoy the sun, if you want to go and do some water sports, get a tan, it's perfect. So here we go, bed all stripped. Floor needs a vacuum, but bed is stripped down to the mattress protector. Everything just needs to be remade, and the bathroom has all been cleaned. Just going to tidy that. That seems to be determined to escape. But yes, everything has been cleaned. We might have a tractor in our field, but hey. Everything is cleaned and tidied in here. All lovely, lovely. Just need to re-put towels in here. So, towels, bedding, vacuum, and we're done. So here we are, bed is made, everything's been polished, vacuumed, washed, and we're just going to put these in place. This is how I place these. Also topped up the tasses in there for the coffee, but I am running low on them, so I'm going to need to go and buy some more, but we've topped up what we had. These have all been washed, and it's ready to rock. So that's how we leave that. I haven't put the towels in here yet because I'm not sure how many people I'll have in here next. I've got the bath mat because that's a standard. So I shall put the bath and hand towels in the room once I've got my next booking and I know exactly how many people are going to be in there. Because even though we have bookings, you never know if somebody's going to book in ahead of them. So, for now, that's all locked and loaded. And the trick I'm finding is to have enough bedding to do changeovers so that I can make the beds, get those nice and clean and ready, and meanwhile do the washing from the last people. So yeah, that's all grand and sorted. So time for my brew. Out again after turning the room around and collecting up mirabelles and plums. So the little ones are mirabelles, little sweet ones, and then these are plums, and all can be pitted and then frozen till a later date where they can then be turned into jam. But yeah, just to give you an idea, this is quite a big bowl. Yeah, it's big. So, at some point, later on, is going to have to get on and pit those. But for now, other jobs to be done. So today I have been working on pitting the mirabelles, chopping them in half, removing the stones, that is, and so there's all the remnants. And I have so far one full bag, and as you can see, there's an awful lot of mirabelles to go, and plums in there as well, but mainly mirabelles. So I'm going to go and weigh these now. Let's see how much this first bag of pitted mirabelles weighs. Right, putting that onto 0. There we go. Let's pop this on there. Wow. So that is £1, 12 ounces pitted. So yep, that does weigh a bit, and that'll be going towards jam at some point. But now to pop those in the freezer so they don't start to break down, and go and crack on with the rest. Honestly, there's not enough hours in the day at the moment. So much to be done out here. So we've got these to do, and then I've got to go outside and do some trimming. As you can hear, neighbours are doing that at the moment in the field for me, and yeah, I need to do the garden, so yay, lots to go. But at least it is blissfully a lot cooler today, which is such a relief. Any hoodle, time to crack on. Also, something I quickly want to mention is the reason that I am capturing all of the pitted stones, they look like tadpoles, in some water in washing up bowl, is that I'm going to save some of those stones. So basically, once they're pitted, chuck them in there, and after a couple of days, remove any excesses off of them, and they can then be dried off and kept. And we're doing a seed swap locally on various plants and seeds and stones, so people can make their own, create their own, plant their own mirabelles. It's been a bit of a manic day today. Been pitting all that fruit. So after the first bag I showed you, I had another just over £2 of mirabelles, and then just over a pound of plums to go in the freezer. So I've done those. Still got more mirabelles to do, but I just need to get out, need to get some fresh air. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get the brush cutter out, because it is not sunny for once. It's actually spitting a little bit with rain, but I've got a guest coming to book in today, so I need to be here. So I thought I'll try and make the best of it, and I'm going to use the brush cutter, give it a go, see what I can do around here just to tidy it up a little bit. So with that in mind, I have changed into trousers and boots. So
also got the visor on, my glasses to protect my eyes, and harness, attach the brush cutter to. Now I'm just going to go and get my chainsaw gloves, just so my hands have got something sturdy on them. Not that my hands will be going anywhere near the blade, but still. And then it's just a case of keeping my little hunters out of the way of the blades. Well, thank goodness it's cooled down, because I'm boiling. I can't imagine what it would have been like the past 2 days if I'd attempted this. I know my neighbour was out in the field doing the edges yesterday, and I thought he was crazy, and I was right. I have literally, you can see the difference between the grass. Well, I say grass, you can see loose term in France. It's made up of various clover and herbs and stuff, because grass doesn't grow out here like it does in the UK, but it is mixed in there as well. Anyway, you can see where I've done around there. I wanted to really do around the septic tank as well, and around the power box for that, to make sure that that was all freed up. I need to still do all along there, but I've used a tank of fuel already. So another tank of fuel will probably just get me, possibly, if I'm lucky, to the tree. But I do have guests coming to check in soon, so what I might do is just put a little bit in, do a little bit more of here, just take myself up to the line, and then pack it in for the day.
Been feeling a bit low energy wise recently, so whenever I feel low and exhausted, I have a little pick me up, and that is popcorn. So just drop a bit of oil in a pan and some corn kernels, stick on the lid, heat up that pan, and let's see it start popping. Then I add a pinch of salt, and it's ready, and a brew. Time to go and find some Poirot or Miss Marple, because those are my comfort foods. Sometimes you just have to stop. A nice bit of carrot cake, which I managed to film just before I snaffled the lot. And peer above the wall to my view. Isn't that lovely? Following doing a bit of watercolour inks work the other day on a craft course, I found that I had some drawing inks. These are very good for using with resin, which is why I think I originally bought them. But I thought, why not give them a go? And so I've got myself some water and some bleach. So I thought I'd try it out on this paper that I've got. It's not the same as watercolour paper. So I started out trying to use it with the droppers. Didn't work very well. As you can see, it just splodged a bit. So I decided to use a paintbrush instead, and that seems to have yielded much better results anyway. So this was my test piece, and now I'm going to try and paint with them. See how I go, see if I can create some sort of, I don't know, landscape, maybe. So I'll give that a go and see what's what. In the meantime, Baba Ban is coming to keep me some company. I've been watching some Escape to the Chateau with the lovely Nick, the tree surgeon there. And it is another hot day out there, so yeah, my energy is completely zapped. So I thought, what better way of doing things than with a bit of painting? Doesn't take any energy really. I can just sit here and chill with a cup of tea and see what I can create. Been having a bit of a rough day today, so health-wise. So I thought I'll do some relaxing painting. I've been digging out my art supplies, as you can see, beginning to get set up in my little dining area. And what I've done so far is I've taken the canvas, I've unpacked it, I have painted it with gesso, and that will now dry. When that's dried, then I can start painting it, and I'll do a black screed over that, which is why I've done these two test pieces. So these are just notebook, sketchbook pieces of paper taped down with masking tape, and then I've just painted them black, and I'll let those dry so that the paper can sort itself out, because as you can see, as soon as it's been had paint added to it, it started to warp. So I'm going to let that dry. When that's sorted itself out, what I want to do is I want to use these fan brushes to experiment. It's becoming to spooky season, and I love Halloween and all things gothic. I thought what I would try and do is some pictures of some night scenes of fires and trees, and also of maybe something like the Aurora Borealis, so the Northern Lights, and yeah, just give that a go. Now, those are the sorts of things you can do with acrylics that you can't do with watercolours. So whilst yesterday I was playing with watercolours, not really getting the sort of results I wanted with the inks I was playing with. So I thought, right, I'll dig these out. And I've had another guest book in last minute, so that stopped me out of tracks a little bit whilst I looked after them, which is brilliant, absolutely no complaints at all. But just meant that I didn't carry on with this. So today, a little bit of downtime, need a little bit of me time, love doing some art to just soothe the soul. So here we go. We're going to give that a go. So I'm going to dig out my paints. So at the moment, I think I've got some Montmartre. So here we go. It's Montmartre acrylic colours. We're just going to use those. So that's the black. And then what else have we got in here? There we go. Here's the kit. So I think we're going to be using things like the oranges and the reds for the fire. We will need white, which I'll take from my main pack because I don't seem to have one here. Obviously used it previously. So those are going to be great for fire. Then what else? For the Aurora Borealis, I think we need some turquoise. That's like a teal. So it's a phthalo green, which I love. We want green and some blue. And of course, we'll need white. So, yeah, I'm going to see how these go. This is, as I say, just test pieces. Or these are just test pieces, not is. I might actually do my canvas up there in blue, like a dark blue. That's a phthalo blue. Might be a bit too light for what I'm looking for. Looking for more of a come on, phone. That's purple. Purple phthalo blue. What have we got there? No, it's a deep green. Oh, no, deep cyan. Cyan. Maybe. So I might mix up some colours. But now I'm going to go and wash my water out because as you can see it's black. And I'm going to go wash this out from what I had, the inks yesterday and my sponge. And yeah, once these are dried, the other colours will come out fine on top of that, I'm sure. But we will give it a go. And that's the reason that we do the test pieces before we work to the canvas. See how things come out, try different techniques, and let's see how they go. So in a little update of here we go painting. Now the canvas is now black. I'm waiting for that to fully dry. And I've started this one. So I wanted to try doing sort of a fire effect and some trees and some little sort of fairy type folk dancing. This one I'm preparing, and actually that looks a lot brighter on camera than it actually does in real life. But I'm hoping to use that just as a test for an Aurora Borealis, but we'll see. That's currently drying as well, and once that's dry, hopefully that'll be a bit darker, and then I can use white across that. But we'll see how that comes out, and then I'll decide what idea I'm going to go for for this. Whether I go for like moonlit, aurora borealis, mountains, trees, that sort of thing, or whether I go for like a fairy folk, trees. But yeah, these are just test pieces, and then I do the actual piece on the canvas. So far the canvas has had a coat of gesso and 2 coats of the black. Currently just cleaning in here. I've just changed the bed and just dusted, and as you can see I have 2 new chairs in here now, and I put in this little bistro table so people can just sit in here and enjoy a cup of coffee if they want at a table, rather than sitting at the window box seat there or on the bed. That was a suggestion that came from a few different people, but I was trying to find the right furniture. So I managed to pick up these chairs at my friend Joe's Brocante. The table I already had in my own space, so I replaced it with another small table, which I've got down there now, because I feel that this doesn't take up as much room. And I need to go and pick up another table for the other room. I haven't got the chairs yet. Then I'll go and have a cup of tea, go and get some money out for Joe, and go and pick up the new table. And here is my monster, Aslan, who is not supposed to be up here at all. So I'm just going to shut this door. Here is my lovely armoire, which I use as a linen closet. So I've got linen in there and towels and an extra pillow, and then in the bottom I've got all my cleaning products. So yeah, currently in my daggy clothes for cleaning, and then I'll be going out for coffee with the ladies. So come on, Aslan, down we go. Downstairs, please. So last night in the Charente, we had some particularly heavy rainstorms, and as a result, we had a bit of a disaster. So in the kitchen here, I came back from picking up a friend from Angoulême to find the work surface was covered in water, and it felt like kettle water, as if the kettle had boiled over because it was still warm, and it was covering it. Now there must be like a slight dip on this work surface because all the water was gathering towards the back like a little shelf. And so I cleaned all that up, put the buckets there, and then another rainstorm hit. And so we ended up with water in the buckets, but I also had to go up into the little loft in the granary, which is the loft above here. And yeah, it was raining quite heavily in the centrepiece here, so there is a old plastic paddling pool up there, so I used that to capture the water where I could. But unfortunately, where the boiler is, the hot water tank up there, it all dips down into the corner, and I couldn't get anything under there to catch the water, and it was obviously just running from places. So yeah, that's what's catching those drips, because it was coming from there. And as you can see, not a good place for it to be, because that's also where the electricals are, or some of them. So yeah, that light switch hasn't been used. And we just hope that it all dries out. But for now, I've contacted a roofing person that's been recommended to me by friends, and I'm hoping that he can solve the issue. He's coming out on Tuesday. He said Tuesday evening, so I'm hoping that's absolutely going to be just coming to check on it, because he's going to need to go up and check the entire roof. I've been outside and I've had a look today, and I can see tiles have moved. So it's a bit blustery today, as you can probably hear, but up on the ridge there, I can see some tiles in the gullies, which shouldn't be there, not upturned like that. And there also looks to be a gap
if you look where the Velux is and come down and to the left, there looks to be a gap there, which isn't great. And there's some slip tiles on the edge here, leaning on the guttering. So, yeah, I think we're definitely going to need a revision, and they're going to have to do some jiggery pokery on those tiles, and we're going to have the whole roof checked. These ones here are fine, they're newer and a different style. So, yeah, it's frustrating, and I'm hoping it's not going to be too costly. Currently, the heavens have opened. It is going bonkers. Seems I've got a bit of a repair job to do up top there, where there's a gap in the guttering. But it'll help the irises no end. But got burn in, but Aslan is still somewhere out there in it all. We've battened down the hatches. We've got the shutters either pinned open or pinned close. Right, going to do a quick check round, see if I have an Aslan at any of the other doors or windows. Still no sign of him. You can see the gutters here. Tell you what, I feel sorry for the horses that are out in this weather. But I'm sure they're finding shelter somewhere, as I'm sure Aslan is somewhere. Despite him being a dafty, hopefully he's in one of the barns. There's Burn Pie, out and about. And our roofers are here looking at the damage that's done by the storms. Quite a few of the under tiles, it would seem, have cracked. And so they're needing to be replaced. So they're currently up on the roof at the moment on the other side, looking at those. And a lot of apples that have been eaten on the tree, but still quite a lot around. Horses are down there. Not going to go over there just now with all the apples. There could be wasps over there. There are the lads on the roof. And Burn Pie, not on the roof. And with the weather being as it has been, the farmers have put hay feed in the field there. Which has got a shelter over it.
So I'm pleased to say that the roof is all fixed now. Fingers crossed and touch wood. So far, so good. We've not had any more leaks since the lads have been here and repaired it. In France, it's called a revision, and once a year we're recommended, if you have the old style under and over tiles, to have a revision of the roof, where they just go through and check what's what and ensure that there are no broken tiles or no issues. Well, being new to France, I hadn't managed to do this or find somebody until it was obviously crunch time. So luckily I got some recommendations, and some great guys came out and fixed it very quickly for me, thankfully. So yeah, anyway, I will be getting back to you and getting the episodes back on track now, as you can see, and I'll be back with you again soon. So thank you once again for joining me. Stay well, stay happy, and we'll see you soon.